Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation 24 channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Kelsey Anderson's true reaction to dad on Golden Bachelorette. Golden Bachelorette suitor Mark Anderson was encouraged to apply for the reality show by his daughter, Bachelor Season 28 winner Kelsey Anderson. Joey Graziadei revealed why his fiancé isn't enjoying watching her dad on the show anymore. Keep reading for all the details. Kelsey Anderson's true reaction to dad on Golden Bachelorette. Bachelor Nation viewers immediately fell in love with Kelsey Anderson's dad, Mark, during her hometown date on The Bachelor. She encouraged him to apply as a contestant on the Golden Bachelorette and woo Joan Vassos. Kelsey even showed up on the season premiere to introduce her dad to his next possible wife. But Joey Graziadei revealed during a recent interview with Extra that Kelsey isn't enjoying watching her dad on the show after the first few episodes. And no, it's not because some fans think he's not there for the right reasons. Joey said during the interview that he loves watching Kelsey's dad on the show more than she does. Why? He explained that no child likes to watch their dad kiss or take part in a striptease. I don't think any daughter wishes to see that of their parent, Joey said. However, the former Bachelor said he tunes in every week to support his future father-in-law. Jenna Johnson clears up previous statement about being sad to pair with Joey Graziadei on DVTs. Joey Graziadei's Dancing with the Stars partner Jenna Johnson was part of the interview. Extra caught up with the pair after their stunning performance on the hair metal episode of the Celebrity Dance Competition. She was asked if she wanted to address her previous comments that she was sad when she first found out Joey was her DUTS partner. She said she absolutely wanted to clear up what she meant because her words were twisted. According to Jenna Johnson, she wasn't sad to be partnered with the Bachelor Nation star. But before she knew who her partner was, she'd heard rumors that an NFL star was joining the cast. She hoped she would be paired with a football player simply because she hadn't had the opportunity yet. NFL player Danny Amendola is competing on season 33 of DVTS, but he's paired with Whitney Carson. Jenna Johnson said she was ecstatic when she found out Joey Graziadei was her partner. She called him one in a million and praised his commitment and hard work. Gene Simmons was the guest judge for Hair Metal Night. He came under fire for his scoring. But Joey Graziadei had nothing but kind things to say about the rock legend. He said it was so cool to interact with the Kiss frontman. Kelsey Anderson had never been one to hide her emotions, especially when it came to her dad, Mark. Growing up, they had always shared a close bond. But watching him venture into the unpredictable world of reality, dating on the Golden Bachelorette, was something she wasn't entirely prepared for. When the producers called to confirm his spot on the show, Kelsey had felt a mix of pride and uncertainty. After all, her father had always been somewhat of a mystery, even to her. The first few episodes were fun for Kelsey. She'd laughed at the introductions, amused by the way her dad had leaned into his charm, his quirky sense of humor shining through as he bantered with the other contestants. Kelsey had never seen this side of him. Playful, vulnerable, and open to falling in love again. It was almost surreal. Her friends, too, were caught up in the excitement, texting her during each episode, asking how she felt about seeing her dad on national TV. Yet, as the show progressed, something shifted in Kelsey. It wasn't just the way the cameras painted her father in a certain light. It was more about the interactions she saw on screen. From the comfort of her couch, she started to pick up on subtle signs that not everything was as rosy as it appeared. The conversations her dad had with Joan, the charismatic and effortlessly poised lead of the show, seemed superficial. They were polite, charming even, but they lacked the depth Kelsey knew her father craved in a relationship. Kelsey's concerns grew when she saw him getting tangled in petty rivalries with the other men. It was never his style to compete for attention or validation, and yet here he was, seemingly swept up in the drama of the moment. Watching him navigate the emotional roller coaster that was the Golden Bachelorette, Kelsey began to wonder if her father had truly entered the show for the right reasons. One evening, after a particularly dramatic episode, Kelsey found herself alone with her thoughts. Mark had stayed out late after filming, and Kelsey couldn't shake the uneasy feeling that had been gnawing at her for weeks. She missed their nightly conversations, the way her dad used to talk about his late wife, her mother, with a gentle reverence that made Kelsey feel as if their love still lived on in small, tender moments. But on the show, that side of Mark was hidden, lost beneath the layers of competition and the constant pressure to stand out in front of Joan. Kelsey couldn't help but feel protective of her father. Watching him vie for Joan's attention, competing with younger, more vibrant men who seemed to have an edge over him, was hard to stomach. Her dad wasn't the type to play games, and yet, here he was, caught in the whirlwind of a show that seemed to value theatrics over real, meaningful connections. She wondered if the producers were pushing him to behave in ways that didn't align with who he truly was, and that thought alone kept her up at night. One morning, Kelsey received a phone call from her dad. He sounded tired, as if the weight of the show was starting to wear on him. "Kels," he said, his voice softer than usual, "I don't know if I can do this much longer." She bit her lip, wanting to comfort him but unsure of what to say. "Dad, are you okay? What's going on?" There was a pause on the other end, and Kelsey could hear him exhale deeply. "It's just, this whole thing. It's not what I thought it would be. Joan's great, but I don't know if I'm the right fit for her, or if she's the right fit for me. And these other guys, Kels, I don't know how much longer I can pretend this is fun." Kelsey had felt a knot form in her stomach. She had seen it coming, but hearing her dad voice his doubts made it all too real. "Dad, if you're not happy, you don't have to stay. No one's making you go through with this." "I know," he said quietly. "But part of me feels like I've come this far, and I don't want to quit." Kelsey understood that feeling all too well. Her father had always been the type to see things through, no matter how difficult. But this time, Kelsey wasn't sure it was worth it. She wanted him to find happiness, not be sucked into a reality TV facade that was more about ratings than relationships. In the following weeks, Kelsey's anxiety grew. Every episode revealed more cracks in her father's carefully composed demeanor. The playful charm that had drawn Joan in during the first few weeks began to wane, replaced by a man who seemed increasingly unsure of his place in the competition. Kelsey watched in dismay as her dad opened up to Joan about his insecurities, only to be met with a lukewarm response. The breaking point came during a heated confrontation between Mark and another contestant. Kelsey had been mortified, watching her father, usually calm and collected, lose his cool in front of the cameras. It wasn't just about the argument, it was the look in his eyes. He wasn't himself. After that episode, Kelsey called her dad again. This time, her voice trembled with emotion. "Dad, please come home." Mark's response was quieter, more somber than she had ever heard it. "I think I'm going to, Kels. This isn't what I want." When he finally did return, there was a sense of relief in the air. Kelsey hugged him tightly, feeling the weight of the past few months lift off their shoulders. They sat down together on the porch, watching the sunset, the golden hues of the evening sky reflecting the journey they had both been on. "Do you regret it?" Kelsey asked, her voice soft. Her dad shook his head. "No, not really. I learned a lot about myself, about what I want and don't want. But I think the biggest thing I learned is that I don't need a show to find love. I've got everything I need right here." And in that moment, Kelsey knew that her father's true reaction to his time on the Golden Bachelorette was one of quiet reflection. It wasn't the drama, the competition, or even the chance at love with Joan that mattered in the end. What mattered was the bond between father and daughter, stronger than ever after the roller coaster they had both just endured.